Well, hey there. This is Sarah, and I am back again talking about the things that are near and dear to my heart. And today I'm going to talk to you about the myth of forgiveness. And the reason this is super important to me is because of all the bullshit I heard when I was working through a lot of things that had to be forgiven. And I know you've read stuff and you've probably been to church and, oh, just let it go. And you're thinking, well, what the hell am I letting go of? And then you hear from people who talk about forgiveness, and you're thinking, dude, you have never had to forgive anybody for more than taking your parking spot. So I want to give you a little backstory before I tell you what I'm going to tell you. But I want you to hear this part. If you listen to me and if you do what I tell you, you will be free and you will be able to forgive. But you got to believe me when I tell you that everything you've been taught about forgiveness is just pretty much bullshit. So here's a little backstory so that you understand that I am not giving you the bullshit of, oh, you should forgive people, and I don't have anything greater than, somebody stepped on my toe. I was sexually abused as a child, and I had a mom who had some mental illness. We had family and friends that knew what was going on, and nobody really did anything. Dad was not just sexually abusive, he was violent as well. Sadly, I did not heal from that trauma, and my second husband sexually abused my daughter. And my second husband's family knew what was going on, but they were renting a condo from me and didn't want me to kick them out. So I don't know how you feel, but I know how it feels to have things to forgive. I had to learn to forgive myself. I had to learn to forgive other people. And I kept hearing this bullshit mantra of let it go, just forgive them. And I would ask questions like, well, what does that mean? What am I letting go? Why don't I feel better? Because I said that I forgive them and I thought I'd let it go. But the reality of it is that forgiveness is not about that. Forgiveness is really, of all the things that I could tell you, forgiveness is about retaking your personal power. Because as long as you can't learn to do what I'm about to teach you today, you are held hostage by those feelings that you have. And these feelings are because you need something. So I want you to think about for a minute. When I talk about retaking your personal power, what I'm saying is that you're giving up your power when you can't figure out how to forgive someone. The old way that you've been told, oh, let go. And, you're waiting for something outside of you to happen. You're waiting for this feeling that comes from you saying that you've forgiven somebody. Maybe you're waiting for the other person to do something. Maybe if they say they're sorry, or in my case, my second husband went to prison, you would think, wow, he's paying for it. But, it was never enough. And then when people who've hurt you die, how are they going to make it right? So you're giving up your power by waiting for something to happen outside of yourself. And here's what I believe to be true. Forgiveness is 100% tied to your ego. And I'll tell you how. But your inability to forgive is also 100% tied to stuff you need. And once you can identify what it is you need, then you can learn to let it go. And let me give you some examples. When somebody's done you wrong, you need one of three things. You need justice, you need revenge, or you need them to do something. In the case of justice, you need them to be punished. Okay, how much punishment is going to be enough? Is there enough? But that means you need something outside of you to happen. The other thing is, well, I need to tell everybody what they've done, and then there'll be justice. They'll pay me back what they owe me. Maybe they'll give me that thing back that they took, or they'll pay me the money that they stole, or give me the job that they denied me. Again, you're waiting for something outside of you to happen. This is this need that you have. The other thing may be revenge. They need to hurt like I do. They need to feel like I do. They need to experience what it was I experienced. Again, you need something that's outside of you. You need them to do something. You need some magical somebody somewhere outside of you to make something happen. Well, the third thing, you need an action. You need them to apologize. Yeah, you need them to show remorse, and they need to come and tell you that they were wrong. And man, they're so sorry. But I can guarantee you, they could crawl on their hands and knees over lava covered with shredded glass. And they could crawl up to your feet and they could tell you how sorry they were. And you're still going to say, yeah, I'm not buying that. Because it's a need that you've had. There's the thunder agreeing with me. There's this need that you have. You need them to say or do something or some justice. And you want closure. You want the pain to end. But you know what? Closure is a myth. As long as you're expecting something to happen outside of you, it is a myth, and it's not ever going to happen, because forgiveness is an action. It isn't a feeling. You keep expecting that if you say, oh, I forgive you. Yep, I've let it go. You're looking for some good feeling to replace a bad one. But here's the deal. Releasing your needs, your need for justice, your need for revenge, your need for them to take action is what frees you. The minute I say, you know what, that thing hurt me and I need them to be sorry. I need them to say that they know that they did me wrong. Yeah, that's never going to happen. But when the need is released, when I realize that this is some internal need that I have to satisfy some sense of something that I've got going on inside of me, when I let go of that, it feels different. I'm not held hostage by my need anymore. And we have this thought that if I forgive you, that I'm condoning or accepting, or I'm weak because I am not harboring this anger. But you know what? Anger is just chains, and it's all tied around your ego that you deserve for things to be made right. Things must be made right with justice, revenge, or some kind of an action. And the reality is that your need based on your ego of what you think you deserve. But you know what? I'm going to throw something out at you. I think those are the needs that bind us to our pain. And as long as I hurt, then I can still be mad at you for what you did. My need is to be angry. My need is to punish you by being angry. But you don't give a flying flip. And so what I'm going to tell you is that you don't let go of these needs for justice or revenge or action because they deserve it. And you've heard this. Forgiveness isn't because they deserve it. Forgiveness is because I deserve it. But you didn't know what forgiveness was, but now you know. Now you know that it's about letting go of your needs. So here's how you're going to change your whole life. I want you to think about the person that you are absolutely the most angry with, that deserves your forgiveness, or that you feel never will deserve your forgiveness. And I want you to feel the feels. And I want you to acknowledge that this is a sorry son of a bitch who did something to you that you may never recover from emotionally. You may always feel the way you feel, hurt, vulnerable, wounded. But guess what? You won't always feel that way when you acknowledge what you need. What do you need? That person hurt your feelings. That person stole something from you. That person said something that hurt your feelings. That person said something that took away something that you had. They impugned your integrity. They took a job. They belittled you. Fill in the blank. Identify what you need. You need justice? That's what you let go of. Your need for justice. You need revenge? That's what you let go of. Your need for revenge. And until you can do that, until you can identify, do you need justice? Do you need revenge? Or do you need action? You can't let go. What are you letting go of? Just let it go. Well, you don't know what you're letting go of. We can't let go of things if we don't know what we're letting go of. So you acknowledge that you were wounded and that you were hurt and it was wrong of them to do that. And then you identify your need. And then you decide if your peace is worth more than your need. Because I can guarantee you that whoever it is who hurt you isn't thinking about that. They're on to the next person. And you're the one who's living in the chains of the pain that you have because you have not identified the need of what you need to let go of. So I want you to think about this. I want you to do this. And then I want you to tell me how it worked out. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. Bye for now.